Let's start with the reading, Aries. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. We're going to look into your recent past, current energies, and immediate future as well. For cross-watchers, keep in mind that energies go both ways, so please take the messages as the best resonate with you. Alright, recent past, current energies, and immediate future. The energy at the bottom of the deck is the moon. And what we have here is overall some confusion. There is a situation where you feel as though you're walking in the dark. You are not sure about what is in this room. You're not sure about what the expectations are, what the intentions are, and how overall the situation is going to progress. You have no idea of the outcome, but you're really trying to understand what it is. There is something that connects you to the situation, and you feel that it's time to understand where it's going. So this is clearly something that it's telling us that you need clarity, and we will see how this card and this energy is connecting to the rest of the reading. But we do also have the Two of Pentacles, and that to me is really telling me that you are in the middle of two outcomes, in the middle of two possibilities, two realities, and you're trying to understand which one is going to actually manifest to you. So let's start by looking into your recent past. All right. So first of all, we see cups, and that tells us immediately that this is a very emotional situation for you. It's something that you consider very important and on which maybe you are already investing a lot of your time and energy. Now, what I see here is that in the past, you have had confusion regarding a person's intentions. They seem to be overall very indecisive. And you know, when you get this card, you don't get someone who says no, who says I'm not interested. They just give you a maybe. And if it's not with words, it's definitely through their actions. Sometimes they seem very attached to you. They seem as though they want to really build something beautiful together. And then just the day after, they act in a different way. They don't seem involved in this anymore. They don't seem interested in this anymore. And the way they talk or the way they don't talk for days, it's just making you very confused, as we see there. You are trying to understand better what this person wants and how they feel, just because you already feel a connection that for you is growing more important every single day. And so what we see here is that you are or had offered your cup to them. Right here, you are really telling them, look, this is how I feel. This is these are my expectations, my intentions, my wishes for these connections. What are yours? You know, right here, you're really being honest. And I like that because that's how you achieve anything, honestly. The fact that at times with that honesty and that vulnerability we get rejected or hurt, it doesn't mean that we did something wrong. It just means that we tried. And by trying, then eventually you get to success, you get to your outcome. Therefore, what you're doing here is not wrong. But maybe by seeing their indecision, it hurt a little bit. It made you feel as though this person might not care. And whenever you have that connection with someone, that can be really hurtful. That kind of reaction can be really hurtful because you start seeing them as someone who is already fundamental in your life or can grow to be. And you wish they felt the same. And it's just normal. You're not being needy. You're not asking for the moon like we see it here. You're just wanting to understand what this person feels, and that's all. You know, I usually say this in readings. A maybe often is much worse than a no because it keeps you in a limbo. And that's where I see you here. This Two of Pentacles, to me, it tells me that you are in a limbo in between two opposite forces, opposite situations and realities. So this is the situation as it was in the past. Let's see what type of energies we are starting to see right now in the present. So with these energies, what I see potentially happening is a conversation with this person, and the approach of this conversation might not take you where you want to be. So let's dive deeper into what I'm seeing here. First of all, Queen of Cups. We have more cups. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards out of 5 have cups. So I immediately see here how involved your heart is in this. And so before getting any further into the messages, what I want to tell you is whatever you're feeling now, Aries, is okay. Don't feel like you're being needy like we were saying earlier. You have to express your heart and your thoughts overall. But keep in mind that if you are dealing with someone, and we don't know that yet, we will see it with the rest of the reading. But if we're dealing with someone who's not loving you right now, you have to start loving yourself and shift all of that love that you clearly have towards yourself. Because otherwise you end up in a situation where you're just taken advantage of. And this is just an advice, but it might be not pertinent to your situation depending on how this other person feels, and we will look into that. So overall here with the Queen of Cups, I see that conversation. I see a conversation where you will really open up completely. Right here, I see you maybe being as vulnerable as you have ever been in your life, you know. What you see here is someone compassionate and someone who seeks compassion as well, someone who's open and who is trying to connect to the other person on an emotional level, being honest with the feelings. And depending on who you're dealing with, they might interpret this the wrong way. They might see it as you pushing for things, wanting things and not giving it time. Not that you're doing that. We're just talking about how this could be perceived if the other person is completely different from the Queen of Cups, from that compassionate and emotional side of you. And so right here, you are just trying to really understand, first of all, like we were saying, what this person really wants. Because again, they say something and then they do something else. What is going on? And the way you are prone to do it here with this energy around you, it might take you to a place where you will not be very satisfied with the overall outcome of that conversation. Four of Cups, you were expecting for much more. You maybe have rehearsed certain things that you told them and you were expecting a specific reaction, and this person feels so, I don't want to say heartless, but numb. You know, at times they feel like they don't have emotions, or their head, their mind is somewhere else. Where do they go? And so right here with the Four of Cups, you thought that this was going to be an opportunity to make things better, to fix the situation and to get the answers that you needed. And eventually this feels like a missed opportunity. And so you are starting with these energies here potentially to transition into a different approach. Now we see the King of Swords, so different from the Queen of Cups. And I do believe that eventually you realize that this is too much work. Again, we haven't seen how this person feels yet, and we will look into that. This is all about how the both of you are perceiving each other on the surface. And with the King of Swords, now you are becoming way more logical. You are abandoning that emotional side of yourself in this relationship, and you're starting to become distant. Whenever you talk, it's very much about normal things. What you have done today, what I have done, all right, good night. Not passionate anymore, not emotional anymore. And here, overall, you're doing this for two reasons. First of all, because you got turned off by this need, this requirement that shows up here for you to always trying, and them not trying much at all. And second of all, because you're starting to protect yourself. You don't see what you want to see, and so you are starting to tell yourself, you know what? I better protect myself and maybe start walking away from this before it's too late. Now, let's see what we have in the immediate future. Okay. So this Ace of Cups is actually possible and has the potential with the energies in the immediate future to turn into the Two of Cups, which I do believe is exactly what you were hoping for up here. You give your cup to someone, they give their cup to you, and overall you start a journey together. But with this High Priestess, we see exactly the key to unlock the situation, which now it's definitely blocked here with the King of Swords. There is something that perhaps this person now will realize with the High Priestess that will help them understanding that you are absolutely important to them, and that if they keep behaving this way, eventually they will lose you. Sorry, up here, they will lose you. And so there is something with the High Priestess that immediately talks about purity, letting go of the emotional state, and in a way just focusing on the purity of the situation, the purity of your intentions. In a way, what I see here is the two of you sitting down and talking and not being like, you hurt me, but more like, this is what I want in my life right now. Are you a match or you're not a match? You know? So there is a way that this conversation will go, and the approach of this overall conversation will really change the overall outcome of this connection, which here was not going to be positive at all. And so let's look more into this High Priestess. Let's look into that conversation, see what the two of you will tell each other, how it's going to evolve and how it's going to make you feel as well. I want to see how it will impact this connection in the near and distant future as well. How is this relationship going to evolve after this conversation takes place? I'll be continuing the reading in the extended video, link below in the description box. Follow me there if you want to dive deeper into the messages. Also, don't forget that every week I randomly select viewers that have watched the extended video to offer them a free personal 30-minute reading. Stay tuned for the extended preview and some more content made just for you. Welcome back to your extended reading, Aries. We have seen here a situation where you are overall confused. Your heart is in this, but your mind needs some clarity as well. What are this person's intentions? Why do they behave at times as though they really care about this, and other times instead if they don't even know your name, you know? It's hard. As we were saying, being stuck in a limbo, it's really complicated to handle. But things are about to change. Clarity with the world, in fact, you see every single piece of the puzzle and you're able to understand what happened in the past, why it did, and also where you're going in the future. Because now with the world, you're on top of everything. You see exactly every single detail of the situation. So there is clarity coming up and definitely a new cycle with the world. But let's keep looking into this communication conversation that we were mentioning with the High Priestess, and let's see what that will be about, and then we will look into how it's going to make the situation evolve in the near future. Wow. There is definitely a different approach here, which will take you to a place where you will get full clarity on what this person wants and feels, and you're going to be very happy about it. So first of all, we see